This is part 2 of our counting down the top 10 greatest housewives dinners of all time. In our opinion, if you feel like differently, then like tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're dumb bitches on our Instagram, Bravo_breakdowns, or TikTok, Bravo_breakdowns. So, going back to counting down the top 5 housewives dinners of all time in Bravo Breakdown's estimation. So, if you hadn't listened to the first episode, what we're kind of grading on is a timelessness, a camp quality. We prefer the dinners that are hilarious to the ones that, have the most physical violence, although there is some.
We do like that too.
We're really looking at impact over intent.
And the impact we're referring to is how it impacted Lauren and I's mental health, which we think it impacted it fabulously.
Positively, yes. There were so many dinner parties we didn't ruin because we stayed home watching these dinner parties.
Texting each other about, other people's lives instead of living our own. And I think that's
healthy.
Yes.
That's progress.
That's American exceptionalism, if you ask me.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, that's England.
Yeah. Used to be in America.
America,
this is you. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of, that song leads us right into number 5. So this is a dinner party where the dinner actually did not happen on camera, Michelle. Because
was it Bolo? No.
Not allowed to be there. No. Not the famous 10-inch stick stripper, Bolo. A different dinner party. A more elegant occasion. This dinner actually made the national news. It ruined an entire Housewives franchise because the FBI subpoenaed the raw footage.
Real Housewives of D.C.
Correct. Real Housewives of D.C. This is Tarek and Mikhail Salahi crashing President Obama's first state dinner in the White House, getting caught, making the national news, and getting the social secretary fired, and the entire franchise canceled. Real Housewives of D.C. Season 1, Episode 7, Nation Building.
The fucking chills.
So, yeah, this was...
I cannot believe that show never came back.
So that's the only reason I did not rank this higher, because it obviously was such a pop culture moment, but the franchise does have so much promise. Like, they had like a really likable center square in Stacey, whose real life was the plot of the film Secrets and Lies. Like, she had a white mom who got pregnant with her, with like some like guy she met in Kenya, and then she gave her up for adoption and just pretend, she was like the Secrets. And then, she had to confront her to get to know her birth father. I was like, that's the plot of a Mike Leigh movie.
But then also like crashing a party where the president is the star.
Yes. That would be a Mike Leigh movie too. But in
Not
England,
Spike Lee.
The prime minister.
I don't know who the prime minister is right now. I haven't known a prime minister over there since Thatcher.
Not Tony Blair, TV.
Oh, I remember him. He was a naughty boy. Remember when he had an affair with Rupert Murdoch's ex-wife. But we got to get back to the dinner.
But speaking of, our
powerful men.
Yes. Our commander-in-chief at the time. So this actually was not the first White House dinner the Salahis crashed while shooting. First, they infiltrated with another housewife's hairdresser, the Black Caucus dinner.
Insane.
And they snuck in through the kitchen, and they all got kicked out. And then they did it again. So Bravo, even though they got out of any culpability, kind of knew what was up already. And that's why the footage leading up to it all has like dun 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 music. And oh my god, do you remember how on that Scamanda podcast we listened to?
Yes.
Very good podcast about a woman who faked cancer, and they were talking about how when the police go into grifters' houses, the first thing they look for is like a shitload of Lexapro, a shitload of like Xanax, a shitload of some kind of like thing that brings you way down,
Right.
because otherwise the adrenaline pumping through your body will give your lie away. The
Mhm.
Salahi, the most terrifying thing is the Salahis are dead calm as they get ready
So
for this
calm.
dinner. Just like no heartbeat.
No
Like,
calm. And even leading up to the dinner, they can't provide receipts that they've been invited. They were like, "Oh, I got a text from a guy," or it's like the invite is in my email. Like, I don't think that the White House is sending evites or
yeah,
text messages. Like, we're having a party on Saturday. I
can y'all
haven't
come?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't texted Lauren or anybody coming, like, what time it's gonna be, if they need to bring anything. I don't even know how many people are coming. So I will send a mass text, but I am not the president of the United States.
You did tell me that it was actually going to be a couples gathering, but of course a
I thought
party
it
again.
was, Lauren. And then people were like, remember when you sent that one text and nobody responded? And so then I just assumed nobody was going to come but you.
I
And then
hate being held accountable too.
I don't, much like Michaela and
Much like the Salahis. Yes.
Salahis, we don't want to be held accountable. Obviously, like, Lauren is Michaela and I'm Tark.
Yeah, I'm Michaela because she really has like this space cadet, like zinned out
It's
quality.
my iPhone.
And like, even as her hairdresser is like, can kind of tell it's bullshit while she's
Mhm.
like, I'm going to the state dinner. The hairdresser's like, oh, I would love to see that invitation.
Yeah, she's like, I got a
bullshit.
starry, her dress, because it was like the theme was like um
America and India.
India. Yeah, so she wore like a sari
Or that's
and
what they said the theme was. I think the theme must have been more
she did look
specific than
fantastic.
that.
But
She looked great.
and before, the girl got kicked out and everyone realized, like, you don't have an invite. How did you get, because there are multiple layers for
They
our
didn't even
Danish
get
listeners. For our Danish listeners, to enter the White House is very hard. Lauren and I have never been extended an invite, whether it be via mail or evite. The White House has never
they don't
contacted
call,
us.
they don't text.
They don't text. They don't do any of that. But there's allegedly multiple layers of security before you can get into the White House, and then also like be in the same room as like the president and the vice president, who famously aren't ever really in the same room for obvious reasons.
Because it's like the same as like the guys who know
Who is
the
our
recipe to
vice- oh, Kamala.
Coca-Cola. If you know the recipe to Coca-Cola, it's like they
But
can't
the
be on
good thing
plane
about
at the same
Michaela is, like, before she gets kicked, yeah, she takes pictures with every famous person before she gets kicked out of there. She's taking pictures with Obama. She's taking
No,
pictures
she
of
didn't take pictures with
09
Obama. She did take
with
a picture
Biden.
with Biden, and I gotta say that Biden took that picture with Michaela even as far back as 2009. The strange woman, her hands on his chest.
Mm.
The questions about his cogency, I feel like, do not look good in this episode. Rahm Emanuel, she took a picture with.
Yes.
But I've got to say, the most chilling moment for me when she is like when they're about to leave to go to the White House from her hairdresser, and she's looking for the invitation, and she's like, I can't find it, and she says to Tarek, just stone cold and smiling, she says, well, I don't have the Jimmy Choo shoes, so I'm gonna have to go with a backup pair, and then I can't find my bra and the invitation. Is that okay? And Tarek is like, oh yeah, that's fine. And I was like, these people are like stone cold killers.
Crazy.
They are stone cold.
I don't know how they got through still. I mean, because, we also see like the next
we see
episode.
The first layer of security. We see them be like, the first lady being like, you're not on the list.
It's like when Lauren loses her ID. She's like fumbling around in her purse.
And usually
she doesn't have a purse.
The security will just feel sorry for this urchin, and they'll say, let me look at your face, and I look at my they look at the lines on my face. Like, you're either like an urchin who's lived really hard and is faking it, or you are in your mid-30s. And either way, you should be allowed to drink.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just like I don't think there's anything wrong with Michaela Salahi. Not a Salahi anymore. She's married to the lead singer of Journey. It's all so crazy. Like, she divorced Tark. Did I ever tell you the first time I heard about the Salahis? Because it was not Real Housewives of D.C.
Oh, really?
It was when I was a child. And one day I was watching the Oprah Winfrey Show, and they were doing an episode on weddings, and they talked about Michaela and Tark's wedding because at the time it was one of the most expensive weddings, and it like came in at over $1 million. And they were she was on the show talking about her wedding dress and had like the train of the dress had like her family crest on it. So Sonia Morgan was not the first to mention a family crest. It was actually Michaela Salahi.
The Michaela letters.
When I was like 11 or something. And then one day she pops up on my Gawker because it's the woman from Real Housewives of D.C.
Well, fun fact about that wedding, at the reunion, they reveal that they owe all of the vendors from their wedding. And Tarek's like, well, I filed for bankruptcy, so I can't pay them.
Right.
I'm like, and these, like, I've never seen a reunion performance where, like, they make Brooks Marks look like a bumbling, guilty, like, like he's really, shaken. And he's like the ultimate con man. He's like, he inspired Dirty John. Like, these Salahis stone unflappable. Whatever cocktail they're on, I want it. And that's why they're
I need to talk to my doctor about getting what they're on immediately, because even during like the press, or it wasn't the press conference, they're like the trial. They're literally on trial and being asked by like senators and congressmen, how did you do this? And every answer is like, per advice from our legal counsel, we're pleading the fifth. We plead the fifth. They plead the fifth on every question.
Mm-hmm. But like not even unshaken.
Get her a BravoCon or something. Like, I need to see her.
She's doing great now. She looks even better than ever, I gotta say. She got that journey money.
And what a journey she's taken us on.
And don't stop believing in Michaela Salahi.
And that's the promise of America and America's security.
Amen. Number 4.
Okay. You're going to be like, how did this make the top 4? And because I think it's important television, but it might not be a dinner that is like what traditionally you would think it's like one of the most like important. But I think it's important. So
I'll be the judge of that.
It's a blustery winter's day.
Ooh, boo.
We're in Massachusetts.
Oh.
The air is crisp. The excitement is there. That's right. Because it's somebody's birthday. It's Dorinda's fucking birthday. And it's her first birthday she has on television at the Berkshires. And it's also Bethany's first season back on the Real Housewives of New York City. So it's the first time we ever see the Berkshires. It's the first time we've seen Bethany in a long time. And boy, oh boy, like that first dinner, I think it is so important culturally because it is our first time seeing Bluestone Manor and everything. How everything, whenever anybody is at Bluestone Manor, everybody loses their mind fully and completely.
It's like the original, like, Scream. Like, everything else has been good and sequels, but really, we got it all from the first one.
We got it from the first one. So, let me tell the tale of the Berkshires. Dorinda decides, for my 50th birthday, we're gonna go to Berkshires. She doesn't sound like that, but in my head, she's with John. Ramona's single.
And John is her,
Medesian.
Yes, he's a laundry business owner, and also his laundry business is a laundry business for
laundry. Yeah, and
Snow.
I think Dorinda also says like, "Oh, he like dry cleans my thongs," and Cardi B's thongs. So jack of all trades.
Master of codes.
So all the women are gonna go spend the night, and they're gonna bring a significant other. Ramona's single, so who does she bring? The guy she had a sports bar with. Remember AO or AYO or whatever, AXO. Anyway, she brings that weird guy. He's there. She's flirting heavily with him. Brenda and John are there. Luann's there by herself, but in a very festive mood. She is ready to celebrate, baby. She's been ready for years for this moment. They all the Carol's there, and it's fine. Sonia's there. Heather, this is the first time Heather and Bethany are going to interact as at this dinner. Like really butt heads. This is also
it's a fight. It's a fight for the alpha.
Yeah, and because this is also the season that Bethany was like, Heather's trying to tell her story this wasn't at a dinner, but anyway, Bethany's trying to tell her story, and then or Heather's trying to tell Bethany a story, and Bethany's like, "Oh,
sweet,
pretending to literally fall asleep because she's so bored by Heather." Anyway, Bethany's not even. She has told Dorinda, "I can't make your dinner. I have to spend time with my daughter." It's a big issue with amongst the women. Like, we all show up. Basically, what they're saying is like, we all show up for our cool times, and we show up at these dinners, we show up at these restaurants, and Bethany keeps using like her daughter like as an excuse. So Bethany decides to not tell anybody that she's going to show up to the dinner. She's going to show up mid-dinner, and she's going to show up and be like, "I'm just here for a night. My daughter's at the hotel. I brought a nanny." She shows up at Dorinda's alone, and she's ready. Like, this is her. This is like really like her like.
It's mommy's night out.
This is mommy dearest.
Yes.
Okay. So Dorinda, not knowing that Bethany is going to show up, decides to hire a sushi chef for this dinner. And guess what else we learned about at this dinner? Bethany's fish allergy.
Highly, which Michelle and I have keeping an eye on.
We're keeping an eye on the allergy because she does eat fish. She'll say, "I can only eat shellfish." But then she'll say, "I can also eat canned tuna."
It's something in the buttermilk.
Something in the canned tuna ain't clean.
There's dolphins in there, honey.
There's dolphins in there, and that's very sad. And I hope that we're not still doing it. But you know what? I bet Bethany would buy the type of tuna that if she knew there were dolphins in it, she'd be like, "I'm buying." Yeah, and they only sell it in the Hamptons. And she talks about,
I'm not allergic. I'm not allergic to dolphins. I'm allergic to fish.
Mention it all. I'm not allergic. So the dinner's happening. Dorinda's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were coming." She's like, "No, it's fine. Like, I won't eat anything. It's fine. Like, I could just like die." And then Dorinda's like, "I have like hummus if you want anything." And then Heather decides to like get up and go like rummage through their fridge and like see like what Dorinda has, and then tells Bethany like, "There's some meatballs, there's hummus, like, you know, we can make you a little plate." And Bethany fully freaks out because at this point she hasn't been eating anything because she'll die, but she has been drinking a lot because she's sitting right next to Sonia, and Bethany is very drunk at this point, and Heather has been annoying her the entire season, and Bethany's gonna let her have it in this moment by being like, "Leave me alone. Get off my job. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not a baby. You don't have to give me meatballs. I'm not a baby. You don't have to hand me a meatball. Okay? I can tell you when I'm hungry. I can tell you when I'm fucking hungry, Heather." And then Heather's like, "Oh my God, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just trying to, like, you know, help you, and like, you don't have anything to eat." So then Heather is like, "Well, let's just like fix it and fix the situation. I'm going to go over to Bethany right now and give her a hug." And then Ramona's like, no. Like, you see Ramona eyes big. She's like, "No, don't do it. This is bad. This is bad." And then Bethany's like, "Don't touch me. Do not touch me. You don't know what I go through. You don't know what I go through." And then she starts crying. Bethany starts crying. You don't know me. Well, I mean, you don't know me. I'm an adult. My daughter's with a nanny. I'll die if I eat fish, and I'll tell you if I want a meatball. I'll tell you if I want a fucking meatball. You don't know about my life. Every second is planned. All these things are happening. You don't know me." So then Heather is like, "I will go back to my seat."
And Heather cries too.
She cries. Sonia's laughing. You know, Bethany just wants to be incredibly drunk at this dinner. And Randy,
she's like, she keeps telling Sonia, like, while everyone's talking, and so she's like, "I gotta tell you, it's more fun over here, not gonna yell."
Yeah, they're like knocking down drinks. Like, you know, someone at the end of the table is talking about, like, you know, their late husband. It's not Dorinda, it's Carol. I don't know. And then Bethany's like, "You don't know what I go through at night."
Yeah, she was like, "I am divorcing Jason Hoppy, and I don't want to hear it from any of you bitches." Yeah, I really think another reason that dinner is
and
so
they're all
important.
dressed like insane. Is the other thing. So like Bethany doesn't realize that there's like this crazy dress code, or I don't even know if there was a dress code, but everyone is like not even wearing like cocktail attire. This is like ball gown attire. But not regular ball gown. It's like Bridgerton. Like what Heather is wearing, she is wearing like this like corseted dress with this like huge, well, like it's a literal ballroom dress, like a huge skirt, like Ramona's got this like very sexy, like silky lace dress, and like
Well, I
Luann's
think
like
she kind of wanted to fuck her
yeah,
business
she just
partner.
wanted her
Like,
her boobies
yeah.
out, but like Luann is like in full cabaret Luann. I think this is like really like what she where
The
cabaret
beginning.
the birth of cabaret Luann. She's got her hair like curled and deep red lipstick, and
Dita Von
she was
Teese
wearing gloves to eat sushi in a person's home.
Well, how else would you eat it, darling?
I love a costume party, darling. I love cigarettes, Frenchmen, any man.
We got the yachts.
We got
That's
I
Luann's
love a cast
catchphrase.
trip. And I love my Italian friends.
I think like another thing that was really important about this dinner was it really Heather, because of like a lack of power players and these transitional seasons when Bethany was gone, she had emerged as kind of the alpha of the group, which was unfortunate because no one likes her. She is very annoying, and Bethany pretty much sealed her fate at that dinner. She was like,
did. She's
there's
like, you're
no
done.
place for her. And I'm stealing your henchman Carol, and you're out.
Yeah, you're done. I'm gonna steal Carol. You're off the show. We'll have a fight in Turks and Caicos about me being a know-it-all, and I won't feel bad ever once.
And that's why Heather was really crying. She knew it was
Actually,
the end.
this is like, this is the classic Bethany, like, oh, the thing that I did and said like upset you. Well, I'm gonna tell you how this actually, how my life is fully, I'm a victim. Yeah. Like, I grew up at the racetrack. I didn't have money.
But she was rich.
Yeah, she was very rich.
She grew up at the racetrack.
Stuff with her dad and her mom, and Jason. And
I was raised by wolves. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a racetrack.
Yeah, more like horse. I was raised by horses.
Yeah, by horses, like race horses. They're very expensive, honey.
Yeah, darling.
Darling, please. So I just thought it was a very important dinner.
Yeah, and that was number 4. Which season and episode is it? It's season
it's season 7, episode 9, Birthing the Berkshires.
Birthing the Berkshires. All right, so that takes us to number 3. I think I'm at the end of my surprises for you. This one is pretty much, it's gonna have made anyone's top 10 list ever of the greatest Housewives dinners of all time, because wow, it's just okay. The reason I picked this one, it just works on all levels. To us, it is cinema. I feel like, do you already know? The whole episode
is it Quiet Woman?
Up to it. Not Quiet Woman. No.
Amsterdam.
No.
Oh my god.
It is.
Is it Beverly Hills?
No, it's considered by some to be the greatest finale episode of Housewives.
Salt Lake City.
It is the most recent episode of Salt Lake City, the finale, season 4, episode 16, Secrets Revealed, ? So this dinner, I think, like
the whole season's been leading up to this.
The whole season's been leading up to it. I like literally like Jennifer Lawrence is about to star in like a Real Housewives murder mystery, and it's going to I know that this is the plot they're going to copy. And I even wrote like a bad Housewives screenplay, and it ended exactly with a dinner like this, but so much better than any writer could have ever dreamed of.
Which, quick sidebar, another Housewives like murder mystery, like I can't do it. It's been done on the show.
Oh yeah. Oh, like a murder mystery dinner party.
It's like every Bravo.
They didn't make the list.
Show has to do it. Sorry.
And no more flapper dinner parties would never make the list.
But back to the Bermuda Triangle.
So the theme of the dinner, they're in Bermuda to like
see Monica's family.
With
that
new
live
cast
in Bermuda.
New mysterious cast member Monica's family, and so they are planning to go see them, and the family aren't answering the phone. Like for some reason they can't shoot there. They don't want to meet her.
They don't want to do it. Yes, it's her birthday.
So Monica is like, it seems like she came in hot, but she had like such a promising first season. Even though she had less money than the other women, like she was making still, like, went head to head with them.
She was making baby swaddles.
Yes,
that you couldn't actually order for some reason.
It should have been the first sign that she was, like, selling cloths.
Yes,
Like,
and she does
she's
talk about the
maybe a
season. This is
grifter.
a very great season. Oh god, it was so good. She does talk about the season that she was excommunicated from the Mormon church for having an
Mhm.
affair with her brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law. Proudly,
Yeah.
she says, which, hey, that's what I want. Give me the dirt, you
Own
know?
it. Yeah.
Own it. But we find out there's something that Miss Own It isn't owning. So she, the women feel bad for her because she has a narcissist mom who's like clearly a piece of work, who
But
she,
she's paying for the
trots out
Range
on
Rover.
camera. But she's paying for her
For Range Rover.
It's all very confusing. They're giving her the benefit of the doubt. Monica says that this is the first birthday party she's ever had.
Oh my god. They
And then,
decorate. There's balloons. There's a beach that is not utilized.
Yeah. And then halfway through the episode, Heather Gay gets a phone call. She says, "What? You've got to be fucking kidding me." She runs from the cameras. She said, seriously, guys, no. Slams the door.
This is important. This is private.
This preview has been like played like all year. It's been like the preview they showed this season. We've all been hearing about this amazing finale. Somehow it did not leak. So we were all surprised, genuinely surprised. So Heather gathers the OG, the original cast members. Her, Meredith Marks, who's a
meeting on the Mount.
Yes, it was a real meeting on the Mount. Jesus summoned his disciples. Who's Mormon Jesus?
John Smith? No, Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith.
John Smith from Pocahontas, the Disney movie.
The Mormon. Yes,
he is the Mormon Christ.
Jesus. Yes, because they're very into colonialism.
And Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, and he's latter day. Not even from BC. He's from AD, And so she gathers them and she says, "Ladies, I have to tell you something." And they all look so beautiful, and they've got scarves because the wind is blowing in a spooky Bermuda way.
What?
They say, Lisa Barlow says, "Oh my God, I'm really scared. Oh my God, you're freaking me out." As usual, Whitney's talking mostly with her nipples. She's doing a lot of nipple work. And Heather says, "Monica is not who she says she is."
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
But pick that mic back up because we need to find out who the fuck she is.
We see B-roll of lightning. We see a table set on the beach
storm is
for an outdoor
and
dinner.
There's a hurricane coming.
Yes, the weather even cooperated for this shoot. So the women, they get into like a typical, some little housewives fights, like Meredith and Heather go at each other, a little back and forth. And then, but then it's revealed it was all fake. The women had coordinated it because they wanted to take Monica by surprise. Because Heather Gay, like Inspector Hercule Poirot, stands up and says, "You're not who you say you are. You are Reality Von Teese." And we're all like, what?
What
Wait,
is
as
that?
viewers, we're like, what? Words I've never heard together before.
Is that one Bravo account we have never followed?
Yeah, apparently because... it's like it's no Dumois. Let's say this much.
And now we said it.
And now we said it. And apparently it got really down and dirty on all of the them.
Women, yeah.
It posted like tips about them. It posted rumors about them. The
rumors and the nastiness about the husbands.
As Meredith Marks famously said this season in a dinner that almost made the cut.
Such a good dinner.
So close. Number 11 on my list. But so they confront her, and guess what? She says, "Yes, not entirely true. She is like the mustache twirling Bond villain, worthy of Heather's hero.
She's about to steal all the doubloons."
Yes, blanket wrapped around her. And Heather's says, "We've got everything. We've got proof, receipt, proof, screenshots, timelines,
everything.
Iconic
receipt."
So also the reason this was so iconic was that Heather had a really tough third season. She was such a fan favorite, and then all of the women were defending a criminal, Jen Shaw, who got busted the season before for scamming the elderly and stood by her all through third season. So people had fallen in love with Heather for being so smart and real, and then all of a sudden she was defending Jen Shah, and also she had a black eye that happened one night.
Yeah, I know, bad Mormon indeed.
Bad moment indeed. And she kept teasing that she would reveal why. And then at the reunion, and like wouldn't tell us, which is like, why are we being coy about potential abuse? Because it really looked like Jen Shah did it, but she was still, for whatever reason, covering for her, or she wanted people to think it was Jen Shah. Either way, it was all so fucked up. And then finally she revealed, actually, I don't remember, at the reunion. So she had a bad season on Ultimate Girls Trip where she was a suck up. She really needed to nail this. And my God, did
she get it right? The monologue.
She deserves an Emmy for
God,
best
give her Peabody. Give her Archie Bunker's chair.
Yeah, she wrote this before. Oh my did. So it's like she deserves an Emmy. Give her the Emmy.
Guest star. Well, I guess she's not a guest star. Whatever they give, like the silly Emmys to creative arts.
Creative, Emmys. Give her a sound award.
Give her a daytime Emmy.
Yeah,
regional.
Give her Susan Lucci's. Yeah,
Susan didn't want. She didn't need that. She deserved. She deserved
it. She deserved it. We'll never besmirch her. Friend of the pod, Susan Lucci.
Yeah.
But so then, Heather also manages to justify in her monologue the whole third season and said, so we are all the OGs, we're the originals, we've been on since season 1, and like the reason season 3 sucked is we were trying to protect Jen Shah because we thought she was the whole show.
Right.
That's why, even though we were scared of her and we let her hurt us and manipulate us, because we were protecting the show because we care so much, not for any other reason, currying favor, moral cowardice. It was because of the show. And we helped her so much that we even covered for her when she gave me a black eye. Finally giving everyone what they wanted.
Yep. And she's like, we're not doing it again, because Monica having a reality show Instagram with 300 followers is the same as committing heinous acts
against the elderly, abuse on camera abuse. And that's the only reason this didn't win number 1 is that I do not like that they used it as a way to never have to shoot with Monica again. I do think that Monica, the way she reacted, even though it was great and epic, she did burn all of her bridges. She was like, fuck you guys. You guys were like trying to protect Jen Shah. Jen Shah, I was her former assistant. She was abusive to me. She was abusive to everyone she worked with. I was trying to like reveal that, and it was an account with like multiple people running it. I didn't care about like the gossip about you guys. And like if I did post anything, it was because I was trying to pressure you to like, don't protect this horrible woman. And they're like, shut the fuck up, you get out of here. And Heather does banish her.
And she does. And she wears a blanket, and the last thing you see is her walking by cameramen wrapped in a blanket, walking down the beach to get into the house to gather her things because she has been removed from Scary Island.
Excommunicated. But did you know what? When she walked down that beach, I saw a set of footprints next to her. And that was John Smith.
Oh my God.
He was with her then.
He is a famous explorer.
Yeah. And a Latter-day Saint. And that's why Salt Lake City, season 4, episode 16, Mysteries Revealed, is the number 3 greatest housewives dinner of all time.
Okay. I think you know it's my number. Well,
I feel like we have the same one. Should we say it at the same time?
3,
2, 1.
Amsterdam.
Cartagena.
Okay, you know what? Let's do that again, and Jason, take that out. It actually needs to be Cartagena. Okay.
Well, no, I'm doing Cartagena, though.
Oh, it's number 1?
Amsterdam. Okay. Yeah, no, we don't have Amsterdam. We
don't
have to have it.
We don't have Quiet Woman.
Quiet Woman isn't as important as I would say the dinner
Jason,
party
take
from
out
hell.
All of this stuff. Dumas not going to handle that well.
Yeah, we'll have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Category. Okay,
number 2.
Number 2.
We're in Europe, and we've got the rich gals.
Oh.
And we've got a trip to Amsterdam planned
Where they ride bikes.
Where they ride bikes, the Netherlands. The Great Danes, indeed.
Indeed. So true.
The trip is planned. Yolanda wants to go back to her home country. She's a foreigner. But she did learn how to speak English, and she does think it's important when foreigners come over to America. They got to learn the language. She told that to her maid, I think.
Rough
So
stuff.
she's going to have all the gals of Beverly Hills gather to see the beautiful world of Amsterdam. And the gals that we got, this was the last great episode, I feel like, of Beverly Hills.
100% agree.
We still have Lisa Vanderpump. We're pushing her to, when she's not good on the show anymore, but she's still pretty good on the show at this point. We have Kim Richards. We have Yolanda. Yolanda not wearing makeup because the Lyme has become too much. We have a Brandy Glanville. We have a Miss Lisa Rinna.
And really in her peak.
And we have her
prime
soap star that is not Lisa Rinna, but she was also a soap star.
The beautiful Eileen.
The beautiful, come on, Eileen. And she does come on. So we're at dinner. I feel like if you're a fan of Bravo and if you're a fan of Housewives, you can see that table with nobody there and like the window looking out to the courtyard, and you know exactly what it is.
You've seen dolls reenact it. You've seen the ASMR version. If you are gay, you have seen this.
If you are a girl, a gay, or a they, you know exactly what's about to happen. So Lisa Rinna this season has told people that she doesn't remember that she said that Kim is close to death. Kim Richards, her addiction is so bad. And so she's close to death. And she's like, I said that. She did say that. And
it's on camera, even.
It's on camera. She said it on camera. Kim has not ever really liked Lisa, and it all comes to a head at this dinner. So Lisa's explanation of, like her whole thing is like her husband lost a brother, or like I think a brother to addiction, and I
think her sister too.
Yeah, she's very sensitive on the topic, and Kim is dying. She's a woman dying in front of us at this dinner table, but Kim wants to let Lisa know that she's not in fact dying. And
not without taking her with her.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Kyle Richards is also there.
Whatever. So
Kim is coming in hot and probably sober. And she, there's a lot of things escalating this dinner. And then all of a sudden, Lisa and Kim are talking. And then Kim goes, something about the husband. Somebody's talking about Harry Hamlin, and it's Kim Richards. And then Lisa Rinna goes, what did you say? Don't you ever talk about the husband. My husband, the husband's the rumors and nastiness. And Kim goes, or she's pointing at her from across the table, don't talk about what you don't want out there. And then Kyle's like, I don't want Kim to steal another scene from me, biting her nails. And, Vanderpump is like, ooh. And Yolanda's like, because she's sick. And Brandy is like, I like where this is going, because it's not involving me, but it's about to be really good. And then there's a literal glass breaking, and it is Lisa Rinna after she attempts to choke out Kim Richards for talking about saying one thing about Harry Hamlin. She throws a glass of wine.
Oh, swift, deft movement that she makes a shank.
Kyle runs away, but I did miss one very important thing that happened before.
I'm gonna let
Kim Richards tells Eileen, who's like, lay off. Eileen's basically saying to Kim, like, lay off of Kyle. This is crazy. And then Kim's like, you beast. And then Eileen goes, beast.
How dare you?
How dare you, beast.
Beast. And her soap opera delivery, like her lip curls. Beast. How dare you?
How dare you? Glass breaks. Kyle runs away.
Kyle. And then 5 minutes later, Brandy slaps Lisa Vanderpump too.
Yeah. So. On a boat.
Just, an embarrassment of riches.
Yes. When Beverly Hills still had the Richards and the riches to give.
Now all they have is money, no riches.
Yeah, and Kyle still has Kim's goddamn house.
Yeah, and we will not rest
until she gives
it back and gets off that show. Yeah, something.
Ugh, it was really
Whatever.
hard to narrow it down because was this
It's
more?
tough. It's
I don't know if
tough.
maybe
It's
was this more iconic than the dinner party from hell? I don't know.
I mean, I
Maybe that
prefer the
should.
dinner party from hell,
I too. I feel like we should have talked about that one. I can't believe it's not
but
in our top 10.
we already teased, well, actually, I don't know if we teased it on the air, but we'd already talked about it. How it was like an
Yes,
automatic number one is the dinner party from hell, where
obviously.
psychic Allison Dubois gets drunk, correctly tells Kyle,
He,
15 years
your
before of
husband
lots
will
of
never emotionally,
predictions.
he will never emotionally fulfill you. Know that.
Know that once the kids leave, you'll have nothing in
And then
common.
she's,
And she's puffing she's an early blue e-cig adopter, even earlier than Stephen
yes,
Dorff.
early into also being like, I'm gonna vape in a person's home. Their
Mhm.
millions of dollar mansion in Beverly Hills that their
Yeah,
sitcom
I'm
hubby
that way too.
bought.
And also we had
The
the
morally
introduction of the
corrupt
more corrupt Faye Resnick, who was in a spread in Playboy but didn't spread.
spread.
And yeah, great. The first dinner,
Everyone,
like it's iconic.
yeah,
Like
even
it,
yeah. Oh, it's so good.
it's so good. You know what I am worried about though is
Hmm.
that all of Alison Dubois' predictions have come true, except for she said to Kyle, "You had 2 legs last time we checked."
Oh,
Leg watch. I'm
we're on
saying,
leg
Kyle,
watch.
leg watch,
It's the
leg
only
watch.
thing that is mildly interesting to us about Kyle's
Yeah, then
hashtag
you
leg
could bring her
watch.
back if she has like that surfing
If
girl type
Kyle
incident.
loses a leg to stand on, we need to get Alison Dubois in there to
Yeah,
help
then
her,
she
prop
really
her.
should be, yeah, solving crimes. She claims to be or she is the
The
person
person
media
that
is
the show
based on.
media. Yeah, we also it is very important to Camille to let everybody know about like Allison's resume.
Mm-hmm. So that's tied for number one,
It is.
but I gotta
God,
give
I
number
know what
one
it is.
spot
I
to
know.
another one. Let's say it at the same time. Ready? 3,
Three,
2,
two, one.
1.
Cartagena.
Cartagena.
Oh,
Magical Cartagena,
this
Colombia.
is the greatest thing that has happened in our friendship, perhaps our lives in general. I mean, getting married and having a kid, pretty special. Watching this for
Mm-hmm.
the first time, though.
And we've watched, and it's one of the shows. It's like usually we watch separately because our houses are 30 minutes apart.
Mm.
But this one we got to have the opportunity to watch together, and again, it was when
Mm.
I was weeping because
Um,
my fiance's father was about to go on hospice. And Michelle said, I know we'll get you right. And she made me watch the Bethany Ever After episode where she and Jason Hoppy are trapped on a boat in marriage counseling, and the boat gets lost at sea. And that was tough for me. That didn't do it for me the way it
it
does
was
for
a
Michelle.
special week, though.
Then we watched Cartagena, and that got me right as rain, baby. That turned my frown upside down.
What a magical trip it had already been. This
Oh
cartoon.
God.
Bethany got sick because of the fish. Remember,
Yep.
there must have been fish stuck in the soup she ate because she's upstairs vomiting on this
Mm-hmm.
trip. Ramona's in a
Mm-hmm.
wheelchair. Luann is newly sober, which is important. She's been to rehab. She's been to jail. This all happened the same
Mm-hmm.
season. And now she
So
just
she's
wants
having
to
a
get her.
white knuckle it through these
Yeah, so she's like,
dinners.
I just need to relax. I've been to rehab. I've been to jail. I need to go to
Yep.
Cartagena.
Yeah.
It doesn't get right.
Yeah. I've been busy. I've been in prison. I've been traveling. I've been in prison.
Mm.
As she famously says on the
Yeah,
car ride
she's a
home.
very busy girl.
Dun, dun, dun. So this was number one just because it is like
Cinema.
it's
Baritone.
again, it's cinema. It's
It's the
really there's an
canon.
improv game called like cocktail party where it's like skilled improvisers that there's one conversation happening, there's another one happening here, there's another happening here, and they're able to take turns, and like use other parts of the conversation to inform their conversation. Something like really done well by brilliant comedians. It's just amazing to watch, and that's the device that's employed here. We have the dinner party,
Multiple
and
conversations.
it's a
Everyone's on a
outdoor
different
meal.
wavelength. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So actually Michelle and I have even
We have
transcribed this
transcribed
entire
it and
dinner
had
and
people
had it reenacted.
reenacted by some of our favorite local comedians, some who hadn't ever seen the show.
And they still did it justice.
My husband did the like musical accompaniments for this episode. Not in real life, but when we had it reenacted.
But he would be great for that.
He's so, yeah,
Music?
well, you know how, yeah, and you know how he feels about certain housewives, which we will talk about at a later time.
Ooh, teasing.
But yeah, there's so many different things happening at this dinner. I think we need to start with the ordering of the food.
Yeah. So, the ordering is a nightmare.
This is after the drinks have already been served, probably like everyone's 2 or 3 drinks in at this point, when Bethany, Dorinda tells Bethany, like, you order for everybody, you're so good at ordering. Bethany says, you can tell me like I'm the biggest bitch in the world and not I'm a bad mother, but if you tell me I'm good at ordering, it's the best compliment you can give me.
Yeah, another like way around eating, but being involved in eating. Whatever. And Dorinda says, "None for me."
No,
thanks.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to eat at this dinner.
Yeah, and she's already tanked. Like
and
absolutely
that was something
tanked.
that Lauren and I. We have seen this episode so many times. It wasn't until we had to transcribe every sentence from this dinner did we realize, like, there's so much happening that is amazing. We never noticed before that Dorinda's like, I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when Sonia's like ordering a drink, like Luann's like, do you have like a mocktail? And they're like, yes. And then Sonia goes, I'm gonna have the same thing. I'm gonna have the mocktail, but can you put vodka in mine?
Yes. It's like, oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah, I want a mocktail.
Oh yeah, but with vodka.
Can you put vodka in mine? I want a mocktail. I don't want to drink tonight, but can you put vodka in mine? Tinsley's tanked, Ramona's tanked, but they're happy tanks.
Yeah, they're having fun. They're like, they kind of diffuse the 2 fights that are happening in the middle. Is they're just
they're like, literally in the middle. They're making
they're the
out.
Greek chorus,
like Sonia,
I would say.
Yeah, Sonia and Tinsley are kissing, and Ramona's giggling like a schoolgirl.
And on both ends of the table, it's just blocked so beautifully. There's 2 major fights happening that are the crux of 2 seasons arcs. We have Carol and Bethany, whose friendship has taken a turn this season, but it's very unclear, even though they constantly talk about it on camera, what happened. And it finally becomes clear in this dinner, where basically the fight escalates into, no, you're the one who hates me. No, I don't think you like me. Where both are trying to end the friendship.
Right.
By making the other one look like shit and dumping each other.
Bethany's like pulling out her text messages, and Bethany is reading like, I texted you on 6/14, June 14th at 3:30 p.m.
I don't want to go tit for tat with you,
What's
Bethany.
Happening? I love you.
What I'm not going to do is debate with you.
And then, because she says, and your response was, yeah, and she's like, Bethany goes, your text message response was like, wow, that's a lot. And Carol's like, yeah, that was a lot. You literally texted a lot of sentences.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of sentences.
I don't think I'm the right friend for you. So
Bethany's like, you're cool. You're
too cool for me.
You're so cool. You're too cool for me. You're so cool. You're like, oh, Adam and I breaking up. Oh, I don't care. I'm just so cool. You're too cool. But actually, you're like a barnacle hitting the side of the boat. Like, you're like waves hitting the side of a boat, and it's just sort of like disintegrating the boat. That's our friendship, which is foreshadowing. Foreshadowing
the barnacled boat that really almost goes down afterwards.
So then let's go to the other side.
So then, as this reaches a fever pitch, and actually as the
crescendo
starts to chime in on this fight too, then we go to the end of the table where Dorinda has
not ordered a mocktail.
She has continued to drink. And then Luann asks her, how are the margaritas? And Dorinda gives a big drunk thumbs up with a squint.
She's like bent over like, it's the only thing her body can do. Oh, and Carol, this is the other thing. Carol and Dorinda keep getting up from the dinner to go smoke cigarettes. And Sonia goes, since when does Carol smoke cigarettes? And what does Bethany say? Since when is Carol friends with Tinsley?
Yeah.
Equally as bad for your lungs.
Like they're equally unheard of. Yeah, equally as crazy.
Damaging to your health.
And I do love that Carol was clearly a closet smoker, but this was the dinner where she let it come out, other than when she dressed as Amelia Earhart and pretended that she was doing the part.
We get a little of like, oh, now we see why Carol and Bissette Kennedy want to like hang out with you, Carol.
Yeah, and it's like me and Michelle feel strongly. We always want them to be ripping cigs on camera. They try, most of them try to keep it quiet, but it's like ripping, baby.
When a housewife, when a cigarette, this is important for the students if they don't know this right now. When a cigarette comes out in a housewife episode, something very important is about to happen or is happening. Lisa
and I'll tell you what's happening.
Smoking brandy.
Even brandy? Said that it blended the tabloids.
Taylor screaming in the back of a limo like, I need a lighter, because she just got in a huge fight with Brandy Glanville. And Kyle's like, I don't smoke, and they have to pull over the limo so she can, smoke a cigarette. Smoke a cigarette. And then, Dorinda and Carol smoking a cigarette at this dinner, getting up
just iconically, the two angriest people in the world right now who show it in very different ways.
Yes.
And Dorinda's cigarette, that's a sign of she is indeed starting.
She's starting.
So when Luann says she's starting, that enrages Dorinda, even though it's very vague.
And we hear another glass break. Another glass. A glass is breaking. It is Lisa Rinna in the corner breaking a glass. She doesn't get on because she's like, I need to do something to get on camera. Lisa's not really there. I think Dorinda breaks the glass. Actually, it's like there's so much happening. Nobody knows who's breaking this glass. There's also the character we don't talk about, which is like the weird light up balloon.
Oh, yeah, that they bought earlier from the markets.
Yeah, when they were pushing Ramona around in her wheelchair, they had bought this, light up balloon. It makes it back to the house.
That is the biggest shocker.
Such a shock.
The friendships did not make it back, but the balloon did. Anyway, so Dorinda is furious.
She's starting.
What do you mean starting? What do you mean starting?
Makeup is smeared.
Like clown
like
mouth.
The Joker.
Yes. What do you mean? What do you mean? And she's like, when you start to drink, sometimes you start to get aggressive. What the fuck do you mean? I'm not the one who's DUI, pulled over, went to jail.
Got a mugshot over it. And this is where Luann's like, I have to leave.
Luann is sober and heartbroken.
Yes. This is the hardest thing. She has just gotten out of jail, and she has just gotten out of rehab. And for one of her closest friends who has stood by her, I've stood by you through shit. She salt bays when she tells Luann, through shit. Through time. So Luann's leaving the table. She's leaving the dinner.
And then Dorinda says, why don't you go drink some wine and get arrested, honey? And Luann almost goes to get
and even Ramona's
drink.
Like,
yeah, a little too far. And Luann almost goes to drink, but then she realizes, no, if she leaves, she's gonna drink. She needs to. Well, she can't violate her parole on camera. She goes back.
Parole, and then also, because she did, famously threatened to kill a cop, escape her handcuffs during when she got arrested.
Oh, that was later, but yeah. Luann was arrested because Luann was arrested because she was very drunk and she was in a hotel and she went into the wrong hotel room, refused to leave. And then when they called the cops because they were like, "This drunk lady won't get out of our hotel room," she yelled at the cops.
Her room's on level 5 and she's on level 3. She's like, I don't even know. She can't tell you how she got into this other person's room.
But she was positive that's where she needed to go.
This is my room. This is my room.
I bet she just Goldilocks it. She's like, got in the bed.
This room's too small. This one's just right.
Just right. And you can't take me.
Yeah, and the handcuffs, we did find out, did turn out to be a little too big for Goldilocks because she ran away. But
ran away.
Back to this dinner.
But I'm surprised that happened because actually, she's I don't want to brag. Humble brag. But when I was pulled over for obstruction of a highway, I had the handcuffs on and I could slip a little wrist out of them. But then, because I'm so dainty, but then they lock you in. The door is locked. You can't get out.
You were arrested.
She must have
you got arrested,
bumped
honey?
out a window.
You got arrested, honey?
Arrested, honey? Mugshot?
You got a mugshot over it?
Why don't you go drink some wine and get arrested,
honey. Get a
honey?
mugshot over it.
Oh,
Wow.
she's starting.
We're
She's
talking about
starting.
monologues. This is a great one Dorinda's delivering.
Yeah. And then just to add to it, the epilogue is just so great.
Everyone
and that
goes back to the house.
Yeah, and Dorinda is so drunk, even the next morning.
Well, okay, let's finish that night, because even at the house, she's like, again, we're seeing a cigarette being pulled out. This is always important television. Everybody, we're on watch. She's starting. Dorinda's trying to smoke cigarettes in the house when they get back to Cartagena, but her cigarette is backwards. She's like,
classic mistake. She's a parley smoker. That's why.
Yeah, she's talking about it with like Bethany and Carol. And she's like, I think I'm gonna smoke on this trip. Like, we haven't seen you just been like chain smoking this whole time. And
I
then
made the decision.
There's
I'd be friends with Tinsley.
Yeah, there is kind of a sweet moment between like Carol and Bethany, when Bethany is like, your makeup is all smeared. Her makeup's all smeared. You look like the Joker. And Carol's like, what? It was a sweet moment in their friendship.
You mean Dorinda?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's smeared, like her makeup smeared like the Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, but you said Bethany and Carol?
Yeah, they kind of like think that's funny.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It was like kind of
nice.
Yeah.
A note of resolution, which we don't get the next day, where Dorinda wakes up still incredibly drunk, realizes she really fucked up and needs to apologize to Luann, but then instead just kind of talks to her and cries to her without apologizing at all for like 15 minutes.
Shit. I've been with you through this shit.
And then Luann just kind of is like,
I have to practice for my I have to practice for my cabaret show.
And then they also later take a boat and get shipwrecked.
They almost die. That's the rest of the story. Paul Harvey. That's how I'm gonna. You never heard that? It was like on like NPR, like, and now you know the rest of the story.
And now you know the rest of the top 10 housewives dinners of all time. Is that what he sounded like? Did he sound like Professor Slughorn?
Yeah, he sounded like you sounded like the McGruff dog, the crime dog. Remember him? Get tough on crime.
Crime doesn't pay. And that's
the rest of the story.
5 dinners of all time. All right. Well, that's the end of our journey. There's a lot of like great dinners that I'm sorry, just could not make the list. Or meals. Miami for Real Housewives of New York, where Bethany confronts Luann for being a sicko for cabaret. Scary Island, of course, which we also reenacted. Probably the most famous and best
the
Housewives
engagement party dinner on the boat in Miami, where Dorinda is giving a speech. That's more of like a snack. She's so drunk and she's slurring her words about Tom and Luann.
And of course, I do want to give we're reaching the end of the segment, but I do want to give a special shout out to best performance at a reality TV Real Housewives dinner, and that is going to go to Denise Richards for her recent turn on Beverly Hills. She gave us the only good moment since Amsterdam, when she comes to a dinner so fucked up that she can barely speak. Her jacket is upside down, and she keeps slurring her words and is trying to make them all apologize for how they treated her, because they know what they did. And they do not apologize. They make her look like a fucking drunk idiot, which I already wasn't looking good for
one
already,
of the waiters on camera.
So Denise Richards is
fucked up, man. And this is like a party where everyone has weed in their dinner, and like Denise never even eats any of this weed. Yeah, she said she was just on cold medicine and had 1 tequila, but a tequila too far.
Maybe a few.
Yeah. Bravo, fucking bravo.
And thank God, bravo, fucking bravo to Denise, who gave us the only watchable scene in the past, 8 seasons.
Right.
And even though those women like wouldn't admit what they did to her and made her look like a fool on camera, they look like the real fools, because she's the only one who's given TV on there, except for sometimes maybe Sutton, in years.
Fool's gold.
They fucked up.
Bravo, fucking bravo.
Outing
fucked it up.
Bravo, bravo. Forever and ever.
Amen.
America.
Forever.
All right. Please stay tuned for our interview with XOXO Dumois.
The end. All right.
The end.
Gotta go. I'm starving.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. I love you.
Love you.